And just like that, the dive will not work out. They're going to get some plates here, but it's kind of a consolation prize for, compared to what they were looking for.
I feel like I'm not watching Genji's game because they're really not organized when it comes to team play. It feels like everything is not working out, but it's not because of like they're unlucky or something. It's just their plays,
Yeah.
It's not synchronized at all, and
oh, here we go. Youngjae's looking for more. He doesn't have flash, but neither does Braum, as they're just going to burst him down. Not much they can do there. No vision at all in that Tri-Brush or in the river, so he just walks on over, and the Bear is getting so much value. This can happen where the Volibear just gets these easy ganks off, and it's happening here in this game.
Yeah. Earlier jungle, as I mentioned, that was not that great for him, but he's making a lot of great situations and skirmishes by himself. His positioning is great. His backup on mid lane was also great, and also that ganking timing on the bot side was really sharp. Like, that was just clean.
Yeah, you can see Ruler even flashes away from that one, so they get the kill and the flash. Wouldn't be surprised to see some follow-up down there on the bottom side. As Youngjae, as you mentioned, has been playing really well so far, and he's looking for a bit more. We have the Mountain Drake up here now, so could just be a singular Infernal and Mountain going the way of Hanwha Life with all the prio that they have. As they're going to drop down the Rift Herald first to help out with some of that sneaky position here. But he's down 3 levels, and it doesn't look like Miru's going to make any... Look at him, he backs way in his own jungle as well. Very safe play.
And keeping on the tower, they can potentially dive as well. The turret is really low. And meanwhile, on the top side, Lucian is just having fun with his range. I mean, everything is just going great for Hanwha Life because they picked for lane prio and they used it correctly. They used their bot prio for the Herald play, and also they were getting Drake. And clearly, they got the bot turret with it. So their snowball rotation is now really clean. And I'm not like surprised at all if they're gonna get second Drake as well, because I don't see like the way how Genji is gonna win this team fight because of the item difference on the damage dealers right now is just way too huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty massive. Even looking at mid and AD carry right now, certainly things are looking good for Hanwha Life. And really the only issue we had was Clade out jungling Youngjae in the first like 4 or 5 minutes. But other than that, I mean, Hanwha Life has just been in the driver's seat here of this game. You can see that Gen Z, they were trying to clear out the vision at the Drake, but they wouldn't dare go for it just yet. They're not going to try to rush that down. I'm a little bit surprised that Hanwha Life haven't made a move at this Drake just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were just waiting for Dudu's TP to come back again because it was on CD. So I think they were just waiting for the timing. And this is just a great timing for Hanwha Life Esports to push them out from the mid lane and jungle side. And Cleed is looking for sneaky plays right here.
Oh, here it is. We're just going to try to bully the Janna, and they will be able to take down the Hens. Viper shelling out a little bit more damage, but it's a nice little pick that will be used onto the Janna.
They were getting both pressure with the Volibear and Azir, so it was kind of dangerous position by Lehans, but at the same time, Cleed, his position was just so fantastic because they got the vision before, so I was like wondering how he could get that position. But actually, he cleaned up, and then that was just really smart. But on the top side,
Bear is angry. Gonna try to get on top of this cannon before that tower can be made alive once again. BDD will miss the shuriken, but he's still going in. Dudu flashing away, and there's the rest of the team. BDD, not like this. 0-2 Akali. You can see he's really trying to make a difference, but gets caught out a couple of times in a row.
Yeah, I saw already 3 times that he missed shuriken, so it feels really sad. But his control ward is doing a really great job, so yeah. I guess that's fine. Anyways, that was really great play by Genji because there was no chance when it comes to 5v5. And also topside, it was not the play that Hanwha Life Esports was looking for, but they were planning it cleanly. Their bot lane was also moving towards topside, so the Hands could save Dudu as well. And Akali right now is doomed, simply. Got no kills, no impact in the game, and he's not going to win the side lane as well. And yeah, I mean, he's not one of the great teamfight champion when it comes to this KDA right now. And his farming is also worse than enemy team. And everything is not working out for him, especially when maybe the reason why Genji was having some shaky performance was because BDD picked up Pantheon, but at the same time, some people can say champion doesn't matter because it's all about the players. And it seems like this time around, it's 100% guaranteed that it's not because of the champion. This player, BDD, he is having some shaky moment right now, and this is not great news for Genji.
Yeah, I mean, Hanwha Life are still, they've got a firm grasp on this game. And with no Akali really in the mix, it's not going to be easy. He's going to need a big team fight turnaround. Like, he's going to have to get in there, get a couple of kills, but I don't know if Hanwha Life are going to let them even have that time. They're going to push here in the mid lane. Shelly going to keep all of her health, and BDD, no TP, is still bottom lane. You can see that they're backing away now, as here we go. That's an awkward position for an Azir. Has to try to flash and use that Emperor's Divide to survive. As BDD eventually gets there, but immediately turns around because, well, got there a little bit too late.
Yeah, I mean, it was already late right there, so I think he could just push extra waves on the bot lane and get the extra gold as well because of the turret. But yeah, as you see Genji right now, even in rotation, they're having some weird, strange choices. So I think Hana Life is controlling pretty well, but they missed the cannon wave right there.
Yeah. Missed the cannon. Never something we like to see here. And it was interesting to see Hana Life. It was 5v4 there, and the Akali was still pretty far away. By the way, that turret just died. And they still were like backing away, running away from Genji because of the arrow coming out. I was a little bit surprised to see them, panic, run away as fast as they did, as I think holding their ground from ahead in a 5v4 situation could have been okay for them, but maybe they were just a little bit unsure about how close BDD could have been.
And also, I mentioned that the Hana Life Esports team composition is kind of hard to play, but
야 여기 시작 들어.
get vision on the top side.
나 맞아. 나 살 수 있어.
I'm fine.
맞아.
Look.
살려.
Save me, please. Close, hey guys. Yeah, that was kind of interesting moment. Bias here, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, the thing is when they're ahead, the difficulty about their team comp doesn't matter. And the only good part is shining right now that Janna is good against Kennen and Akali because of his her abilities. So it's really hard situation for Genji, but there is some extra brush for Genji to make some miracle team fight right now.
Well, Life is going to be the one that comes in here and tries to face check, get some vision. Here comes Klid and Rascal from behind. Here doing a great job of poking, and well, there goes Klid. Really nice slicing Maelstrom into that fight, but the damage just isn't there. As finally, the cannon will go down, but trying to turn this one around is Ruler, but there's too many members. In goes BDD, gets the Caitlyn, and somehow Genji are staying alive in these fights. BDD, though, is going to go down with an unfortunate flash, as that ends up as a 3-for-3 after all things considered. Both sides have a support and a AD carry, essentially, after all of that. And yeah, it was closer than I expected, Wadid.
Yeah, that was really great team fight from Genji, and Janna was not in position to push out the cannon in the right position, so that was really great. They spotted out the cannon position, but yeah, Mir was kind of aggressive to look for lead, so
yeah, it didn't work.
He could have pushed out enough to deny Cannon's ultimate completely, and at the same time, that was really great kiting by Rula, so that was really good.
Oh, here we go again. Genji trying to burst down the Drake, and they're trying to damage down Youngtae. He gets the Drake and the Bear at the same time. Genji coming back in this one. Nice Emperor's Divine does a ton of damage, but still BDD is alive, and Ruler is pushing forward, and there you go. Finally, the Akali is online with a triple kill after all of that, and somehow Genji make this game theirs.
Yeah, I think that was the power of the Ashe Braum. I think it's all from Genji's bot lane, because I didn't feel like Akali was just... Yeah, I mean, Akali got triple kill at the end, but start of the team fight, the way how they take the team fight with Ashe Braum was just fantastic, so they could able to one-shot Volibear in 1 second.
Yeah.
Just look at Braum and Ashe when you check the replay, and yeah, the Nasher is still up though. Volibear is just running for his life, but can they actually stop this Nasher?
He's almost there, but not quite. Klid is going to be the sacrifice, and Genji are fine with that. They don't care about this poor set. All they care about is that 4 members of their team now have the Baron buff.
Yeah, and just look at the Ashe Braum's power of the team fight. Their laning phase is not that great, but the way how they take the team fight is just so clean. And I mean, because of the item difference, I was expecting
야 여기 넘어왔다. 자 천천히.
Azir here.
야 나왔어. 괜찮아.
Just slowly. Ultimate 3 seconds.
괜찮아.
It's fine. Oh, it's not fine for Dudu.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
just randomly, everything's just falling out. Why?
I don't know.
I mean, they had great advantage and the item difference was real, but somehow, I guess they are greedy at the same time.
Oh, he was almost going back. He stayed. Oh, that was the end of Dudu's life. Rascal went in with the Dududunga.
And there is no Hex Drinker on Dudu as well, so that was really easy one-shot for him as well. Yeah, I don't think that build is great to take when you're playing as assassins, like ninjas.
Yeah, they got a couple of ninjas on their side. The Akali and the Kennen. So probably want that Hex Drinker. ASAP. Oh, yeah. Oh boy. He's going to die to the other ninja now. Okay. BDD stays alive. Things are just falling apart. Klid, though, does go down. That's a nice maneuver by Miru. You can see Ruler trying his best to kite it out. Does a decent job, but still is going to get caught out there. And Viper picks up a kill, which is, you know, we talk about Hama Life and how Viper is sometimes their only hope.
Yeah.
Seems like maybe that's the case in this game again.
Yeah, Dudu right now is completely doomed. I don't know why he took this build. There is 2 builds on Lucian that you take. Either you just go for Essence Reaver first item and look for crit build, or just go for a Bork and Black Cleaver and those kind of bruiser items.
Yeah.
But right now he's just mixing those 2, so he's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's like not doing enough damage and he's also not surviving.
Exactly. But anyways, that was great play by Hama, but at the same time that was really great kiting by Rula as well. So at the end, I think Genji is controlling the game again, eventually. So I guess, I mean, I'm not sure. Like, the difference was real, you know? Like, it was really huge. There was almost no chance for Genji to take this game over against Outlaw Esports, but right now it feels like everything is opposite. Akali right now is 5-3-3. And before that, I mean, Akali was 0-0, right?
Yeah. She's head on gold now. After all of that.
Interesting.
Yeah. The magic of League of Legends. And they're just waiting here for the next Ocean Drake. It looks pretty good for Genji to secure this one as long as the fights go the way they have been going. Now, we got triple Morellos in this game. We have 2 on the side of Genji, 1 for the Azir, which he did rush out. Which is, I suppose, not so bad for the Azir because nobody's really building too much MR on the side of Genji. But the double Morellos on Genji's side is quite interesting.
Great mid calls by Lehans right there. But the problem is they need to take a team fight, and there is Kennen on the other side, and you do not have exhaust. And everything should just come from Lehans that, like, he needs to save the damage dealers from those 2 ninjas because
Yeah.
that's one of Vijana's job right now. And I think this team fight is really random because I'm not sure who's going to take the win right now. Because Genji is strong enough to take the team fight.
Yeah, no exhaust, as you mentioned, for double assassin. Here we go, pulling the bear into that one as a huge Braum ultimate into the back BD, trying to get that damage, avoids the Emperor's Divide, does go down, but Rascal on the other side able to lead the charge. Look at Viper though, he's trying to pop off, as here we go, gonna put up that Unbreakable just to save his life, but the range advantage and the scariness of that Caitlyn now at nearly 30 minutes is really beginning to show itself. As Homalife got in there, they got the Drake. The Volibear didn't end up doing too much, but still the rest of his team able to do well in that fight.
This game became so random after a 3rd Drake. And yeah, I thought that was great engage by Clay, and I was expecting some smite coming from Jungler, but it didn't happen, and also BDD.
Cedar.
He was not able to use his 2nd ultimate, it seems like. And yeah, team fight is just so random right now. It's either way, like, one team is gonna get one-shotted if you make one mistake, so it's really hard to see what's gonna happen. But it's obvious that 2 AD carries from both teams are just popping off. And I think it's really depends on how fast they melt enemies' front lane. And I think it's going to be easier for Genji side because they actually have no front lane from Hana Life right now. When you compare to like Genji side, you know, because they have Zed and Braum, obviously.
Yeah. We've got a couple of big shields, big boys there in the front. And you can see that Rascal did go for a build that we talk about sometimes. Gets the Morellos to stop the healing and then goes for the Void Staff because you see on the side of Homalife, you really do need that MR. As here we go, Glid getting into a pretty awkward spot as he's just going to get pulled away and taken out. But Azir as well as BDD into the backline, the exhaust, not able to stop Lehens from going down, but keep looking at Viper. This guy is so strong right now and so scary. Just completed his 3rd item and he's got a Hex Drinker on top of it, so they're able to do a decent amount of damage to the frontliner Genji, but Viper's always in the back doing crazy amounts of damage.
Yeah, Cleed was looking for engage on enemy team, but he was on vision. So Miro was looking for insect him in the jungle side, but Cleed also cancelled it with his own ultimate. So that was kind of interesting moment right there. Great cancel by Cleed. And I would just happily take the trade when you get mid and support with sacrificing your jungler. Everything is going great for Genji right now, and the side lane pressure is slowly on Genji as well, because you cannot do anything against Akali and Kennen. And especially when Lucian died twice in a really bad spot. I don't think Lucian is going to get side lane pressure at all.
Yeah. Well, he went for the Phantom Dancer, so not going to be building a Hex Drinker in this game, it seems. But you do see that at least Viper was able to pick up that item.
I mean, maybe if he match against Kennen, then Lucian can get the pressure, but if you're against Akali on this side lane, I don't think he's going to get the pressure ever again. And it seems like he's taking that matchup by going to the bot side. And that's really interesting. And the map control is already on the Genji side, and the Nashor is up. And Soul Point Drake is coming in 40 seconds. And the point is, Jan has exhaust again, and I don't see like how Live is going to win the team fight without the exhaust. Because even though with the exhaust, they lost the team fight, right? So yeah, it seems like it's really hard for Hanwha. But at the same time, they have fed Caitlyn, which is great champion right now.
Lance. He's so fast, he's like, I don't care. I'm just gonna run in here with my scanner and see what I can see. That's a big TP. They're trying to turn this one around. The arrow is going to sail wide. And so BDD says, never mind. It's a nice amount of damage already being done to Life and Ruler by the Sun Turret, as both teams trying to maneuver into position for this Ocean Drake. Lid ready at the waiting. There he goes once again. He's going to get a decent one, but where's the rest of the team? Where is the damage? BDD finally gets into the back line. Youngjae is alone, as that was a huge amount of damage from the front line. And great protection from Homalife, but the Drake will go the way of Genji. And now they are on Ocean Soul Point after taking down that Drake. So a 1-for-1, two of the frontliners that do go down here in this game, but the Drake goes the way of Genji.
So yeah, when you look at the side waves, they had no pressure or prior on the side lane, so they lost so many craves on the side. But yeah, but my question is, did Youngjae really needed to go here with the flash on Ash? Because I felt like they could just win it slowly from the just hitting the front line by Hana like this, but because they had eyes on Kennen and Akali, so they could just defend it cleanly, right? So
yeah.
I didn't feel like Volio really needed to go for the back line, but it happened.
Yeah.
And the Drake is for the Genji, so they are on Soul Point. And they got the advantage from the side lane as well.
Youngjae's doing it again. He's just going to go down as he tries to front line. The Emperor's Divide is used early, and now it's time for the Ninjas to wreak havoc in the back line. That is the cleanest ace you've ever seen, and that is going to be the end of the game.
Oh man.
Just like that one, dude.
No words needed. I don't feel like that was clean performance by Genji either. So
Yeah.
This is so random. But win is win, guys. So Genji is just simply taking the win again, and that was kind of disappointing game by both teams, actually.
Yeah, it seemed like Genji was trying to shake the rust off, whereas Hamalite, they had a very nice lead, but at the same time, they just didn't know what to do with it, seemingly. As I'm very interested to see who you're going to choose for the player of the game. And maybe we can choose Joby or something, I don't know. Because
That's really toxic, bro.
no, it was just more of like a team effort coming back. I didn't really notice any one player doing a huge amount of,
I
work
think it's
himself.
Genji's ball lane was just taking the game seriously, That's the reason why Genji could win the game still, because their bot lane was doing a great job on it. But I'm not sure, like, do I vote for support or AD carry?
Well, you're a support player, so.
I'm a support player, so I'm voting for AD carry.
There you go.
Having Ruler.
Always supporting your AD carry.
Yeah, I mean, just having Ruler on your bot lane is just such a blessing.
It's true. I mean, he was the one guy that was truly consistent the whole game.
Yep.
Had a really great game. Actually did the most damage on top of everything, so. I think it was pretty impressive that BDD got one of the weakest early games we've ever seen him play, and then come back to actually make a difference in the game.
And I think it's not because of his play. I think it's because of their bot lane.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I think
he was cleaning up the kills, right?
that was such a disappointing game for BDD. And I mean, as a team, just had such a weird performance. Like, they made both die 4-man. It didn't work out because they were not synchronizing their skill shots, for example, and also their mid 2v2.
Yeah.
Beat plus BDD. That was one of the horrible moments I ever seen in my life, because they missed the skill shot, so just back out.
Yeah.
Why going in?
It was very forced. A lot of that early game was definitely forced from Genji, but they got the win. So a win's a win.
Good job, guys.
They run away with this one, and at the end of the day, all that is going to matter is the standings, of course, where they will be ahead right now in the wins column, as we're just about ready to jump into the break, guys. So we're going to see you for game number 2 in just a moment. We will be right back.
내가 먹었나? 괜찮아.
약간 야 서폿 만나는 거 뭐 없나?
블리츠?
이지율인데.
쓰레쉬
아 칼리 스트레시는 별로 안 좋아.
타릭
팬이 상대로 별로 안 좋아요.
오? 아야
이럴 빼줘 빼주를 뺏을까?
내가 뺏을까? 맞아 빼주면 안 되냐? 너 할 거 있냐?
저 아래쪽 들렸죠 칼리부터 봐야
야,
돼
이거 대리 없어서 그냥 건바 네가 선택해야 돼.
받을
빨리 가.
바드
아 카운터 할게 이거. 내가 이거 그냥 때리 토프할게. 늦었어 이거. 오우. 때리 서버. 그냥 억지로 한 거 같긴 한데. 세질이 너무 무서웠나 보다.
셀서포 근데 당황스럽긴 하네 갑자기
야 실력으로 이겨
잘해야 돼.
확실히 야 확실히
그 점프랑 하나.
나쁘긴 한데 나쁘지 않긴 해
우리 원래 전투적으로 상대 골피가 다 이기긴 했어. 다번 게임
아 근데 우리 일단 색깔은 다 잘 어울려
잖아 활용 다
가자 일로 와봐
차례. 가봐. 갈게.
나이스! 레드카드! 가지고 가자. 다음 볼. 얘도 높을. 저기도 높을. 여기도 높을. 한 높을이에요. 골라 나이스!
야! 붙을게.
가자
잘했다.
야 고고고 이제
야, 세주 서프 뭐야? 야, 개꿀 뭐야? 일로 와! 라스칼! 들어가.
가자 가자 가자.
들어가.
진짜 가자.
들어가.
잘 가고.
와 골대 계속 이겼다. 박정 1대1 뜰래? 캐틀 밀어줘. 캐틀 밀어줘? 내가 박세 내려고 그래요? 확실해? 아! 와우! 어때? 시야에 맞았다. 개 같다 그냥. 형 저 근데 좀 피드백 줘. 내 시야에 맞을 것 같은 말 있잖아. 깜짝 놀랐어. 그냥 제 실력이 대감쳐요. 저너 미친냐? 진짜 미친. 안 됐다. 막판은 문도 픽으로 간다. 오케이 하긴. 일판 치면 그냥 내고 먹고 뛰쳐나가. 물면서 뛰쳐나간다. 문도에게 와! 아무거나 다니면 문도에 가더만. 아 문도 간다! 아 왜 이게 맞는 거야? 이게 맞지 당연히. 문도 파이어! 여기지. 속세하기를 보여주지. 속세하기 아씨! 여기 오 예! 아! 내가 형 기다려주러 간 거예요. 오케이 자신감 좀 참다. 오케이 가보자.
사람아 오늘 컨셉 뭐야?
자연스럽게.
아니야. 동료를 믿어라 미션. 동료 버려?
안 버린다. 보인다. 자,
파이팅.
파이팅.
괜찮아.
싸움 알아서 해봐. 싸움 그래 알아서 잘 해봐.
미드.
나 믿어.
동료 버려.
아 저거 안 보이냐?
야 온다.
버려.
남으면 얘네 이겨.
나쁘지 않아. 좋아 싸움 너무 좋아.
걔네 조심해.
캐넨.
잡았어. 야 캐네 좀.
안해보자 이거 잘해볼 게임이다. 야 불러 까는 놈다 이씨.
야 그래.
맞아.
감사합니다 형님들.
아 나 너무 잘 그리는데? 아 박수 너무 잘했어. 아 나비가 개 잘했잖아. 그래 잘했잖아. 맞아 오늘 나비 진짜 잘했어. 아왜 기죽여요?
야 2년 만에 탑승.
나이스!
You never know what will happen at Worlds.
The stage is set, the curtain is drawn. 没人能够预见会是这种情况。This is the game people want to see. 新的王者诞生了。The boom, they put the fuse. 你看到了吗 ？This is it.
Welcome back everybody for the Sunday Nights Analyst Test Games. They will be joined by Jang Yeon-mi and Lira and Vitori. And this is season with the translation. Life Esports versus Genji. And Genji was able to pick up a win based on their team fight ability, one of their typical game-winning plan. This time around, Dudu played Lucian, which requires a certain amount of proficiency. Klid was able to focus on their teamfight ability and at the same time lean on the laner's lane priority. Life Esports, they also wanted to have strong laning champions. So this time around, Genji, they allowed them to pick a strong picks and then they focused on the strengths of their comp overall. And Klid was also focusing on the clearing, so yeah, the laning phase was not that easy for Genji. So it is true that Life Esports had a lot of strengths with their comp. Caitlyn, Lucian, and Azir, some of the ranged champions, they was not grouped up. They were actually protecting each other, being spread out, especially with the Janna's utility. If Bolivar can tank and absorb a lot of damage and aggro, Life Esports could win a lot of team fights. At the same time, with the Exhaust and Azir's ultimate, they were able to counter the comp of Genji. However, well, Genji was able to turn the game around because they played well during team fights. Azir was trying to do some fancy Shurima shuffle, but that could be even, well, actually rather better if we could just push away some of the assassins on the side of Genji. Life Esports, they failed to show the best value out of their comp. However, in the early phase of the game, Life Esports were showing off some great plays. However, Genji managed to get back in game at the middle of the game. We had a huge turnaround fight around this dragon. Well, the Hana Life Esports, they made some questionable teamfight plays. Without Azir, they focused on Braum, the main tanker. Volibear just got chunked when he was diving onto Braum, and they were in a very awkward position all throughout that fight. Azir went jumped over the wall for the Dragon fight, but BDD spotted him, so he was able to dive onto him as well. And the 3 damage dealers were supposed to put a lot of damage by protecting each other, but they were all just collapsed by the ninjas on the side of Genji. Well, normally, we always have Orianna and AD carry champion, or Corki and AD carry champion that requires this kind of protection comp. But this time around, Hana Life Esports, they were definitely in a rush, so they were just forced to open that fight. We can also say Genji, they can always stay poised and calm during team fights. After this fight, we had a very critical team fight coming out from Genji. Hana Life Esports, they had a 5v4 fight. We could see that Kennen did 0 damage in this fight. However, they were not able to win this fight, so Janna also used Mikhail on the wrong person. She used it for Azir, maybe because she put her mouse pointer on the wrong target. Akali and set their engage and re-engage was so fancy, but Hana Life Esports, they were not able to react to it. Hana Life Esports, they were not able to block Akali diving onto the backline. So maybe we can say it was Hana Life Esports that kind of allowed BDD to find those angles and openings. With this victory, Genji was able to pick up a win in game number 1. So now, let's check out the player of the game on the side of Genji. BDD on Akali, 1,300 POG points. Pretty much unreachable now. And Pastor Dongjun kept mentioning about the importance of the E skill from Akali. And this Akali was using this skill in order to dive onto the damage dealers, not in order to run away. The way he juggled the aggro was also on point. This game was not an easy game for Akali, but in the end, BDD managed to pull it off. Because Zonya is always countered by the Caitlyn's trap, so this was not a very easy game for the Akali, but BDD somehow managed to put on a show in this game. 300 points, the difference between Showmaker, the number 2 POG leader here. Last time BDD picked up Azir POG, and this time this was Akali POG. A very split vote over here. Ruler also picked up so many votes and also played and live. But in the end, it was BDD to pick up this POG. Genji, in order to solidify their possession for the 3rd place, they need to close out the game with game number 2. Let's move on to the Rift.
Thank you, Ji-Sun, as always, for the wonderful translation there of the analyst's desk. As that was a very interesting POG vote. Blooded. I don't really understand it myself.
I'm losing my mind. I'm actually malding.
Yeah, me too a little bit of malding going on right now. They were like highlighting his E skill when he missed it like so many times in the early game. I mean, it's very confusing.
Yeah, I mean the late game, obviously his teamfight was great, but the early game, because of Akali, that was pretty hard game.
Yeah. And other people were also having good late game team fights, not just BDD.
Yeah,
he wasn't the singular player that carried them, you know?
Yeah, I think their bot lane was doing a great job, but anyways.
At least it was a close vote, right? I think there were 4 votes for Ruler and 5 for BDD, so I suppose that's all you can ask for. It's a democracy after all, this voting system.
But anyways, I don't feel like we're gonna see any kind of surprise picks from Genji today, because their performance was not that clean. There was so many sloppy plays from Genji, so I don't feel like they're gonna try new picks today, even though it's Hana Life Esports that they're playing against. So
yeah, I mean they want to make sure they get the best seed possible. They don't want to have to play that extra best of 3 against probably Afrika. You would assume here in the wildcard match of the playoffs. As same bans on blue and red as they slam down the Volibear pick, not wasting any time with that one. Ash. Similar response, actually, from Hanwha Life. Actually, the exact same response from Hanwha Life.
Yep. I think it's one of the just great answer when it comes to this, and especially when Bard is out. I don't think there is any tools to just play against Ashe on the bot side. And Renekton. Well. There is no Lilia, so it's gonna be Renekton and Volibear on the top side. There is so many, so huge die potential on the team, I guess.
Oh, it's massive. I mean, whoever they pick for the top lane of Hanwha Life is going to be struggling. I wonder if they would even consider something like a Mordekaiser, try to make it a one-on-one, or something like that, because they know what's coming to them in the top side. Gonna have Azir again, potentially, from Miru. Has noticed the Ezreal pick out of Ruler. He does not want to play Caitlyn. He's like, yeah, well, I don't really think she's great, and I don't want to play her into Ashe, so I'd rather play Ezreal, in fact.
I guess. I'm worrying about the other game Priors again then, because obviously Ash is gonna pressure Ezreal lane, and also they are having a 0 with 2 bans on it. I mean, I guess it's triple or fourth ban on the mid lane. So it's gonna be really easy to Hanalive to play the early game again. Because of mid and bot lane pressure, there is snipe ban towards the hands. I think, yeah, he did a great job in the laning phase. He used the maximum power of the Janna in the lane, so that was pretty gross to play against.
Yeah.
So they just banned it.
Notice how they ban Echo and not Akali. They're like, hey, BDD, if you want to play Akali again, be our guest.
Yeah.
We don't care. That's
just
fine.
play it, bro.
Yeah.
Even though you got
Please play
POG in game 1, I didn't feel like your Akali it was not that impactful. So
Yumi ban. Lance throws up a little smirk. Jace.
I think it's really great pickup. And again, I guess they're having 3 lanes of Priya to snowball this game. And
Yeah, the Akali.
here we go.
The Evelyn was kind of a troll hover. Although, I mean, I suppose Renekton mid Volibear
That's
top
not-
could happen. That doesn't seem like the smartest idea, though, as Akali will be selected. There you go. BDD says, I got player of the game. I am playing Akali again. And now all that remains is the support pick. This is something that Hanalive do pretty often, is try to save a support pick counter, or they have something that can flex into support, and then if they feel like it, they can flex that and pick some other lane. This time around, it's going to be Lashen.
Lee Shen is on again, and in this patch, Shen also got buffed. So it's really small, like a small amount of barrier on his passive got buffed. So I mean, it's normally good to play against Nautilus if you're not getting one shot, because you can block his auto attack with your ability. So yeah, I think this is great, and also I feel like they're having 3 lanes of Priya again when it comes to the earlier laning phase. So I'm wondering if they are able to use it again, or just throw it again like a game 1, even though they had huge amount of advantage in the game. And also I just want to see clean game from Genji, otherwise everyone is gonna expect them to like just get wrecked in playoffs if they are continuing have this kind of performance right now.
Yeah, you can't drop a game to Sandbox and then almost drop a game to Hanalive and then expect people to have, you know, high expectations of you in the playoffs. It's definitely true. And I mean, there's even a chance that Hanalive, if they can shore up their mid game a little bit, with all their priority that they have once again, maybe even try to take this game, as we are going to hop onto the rip for game number 2. Genji on blue this time around. As here we go. See if any invade shenanigans happen, because we're getting a little bit of that nowadays.
I guess, I mean, I think Hanalive was, they were doing everything great, but especially from Youngjae, it was pretty disappointing performance, because in the earlier game, even though he had 3 lanes of Priya, he couldn't use that advantage as well. And also in the mid-late game team fight, he was just going into the backline for no reason, getting one-shotted in the team fight, every single team fight. So I think he's the one of the players who really needs to improve as well.
Yeah, that is for sure. Youngjae is definitely one of the junglers here on the side of Hanalive that hasn't really proven too much to us. We've seen Haru, we've seen Cad, and now we have Youngjae. They've got 3 junglers on the roster. And for a bit now, Youngjae has been the starting jungler, trying to make a name for himself.
And it's Predator Volibear jungle from Cleave right there. And yeah, also Ruler is picking up the Conqueror Israel again, because I guess he's trusting his skill shots more than the faster auto attacks with little tap.
Yeah, that does sound like Ruler. Definitely a very confident Ezreal player. He's played it 11 times so far, 7-4. His BDD is actually 3-0 on Akali for this season.
I mean, his Akali was great.
Ooh.
Oh,
That was a nice little dodge.
he dodged the hook shot. He was expecting it to come through the mid lane. So that was a really smart move by Cleave. I mean, his Akali is great. I mean, there is no doubt. But I was doubting it because of the game 1.
It was definitely just the performance that led us to question it a little bit. It's very interesting to watch the top lane here, because the Jace has the advantage here in the early game. But that Renekton can get pretty scary, especially once he begins to get cleared up to the top side with Predator Volibear. His ganks are going to be pretty insane.
Yeah.
And Dudu's going to have to be quite the careful Jace once we do get a couple of levels in.
The gank potential is pretty high. And also, even though Dudu had a great game in the game 1, he just gave up all the advantages by himself with item build, with positioning. I mean, his laning phase was so great, you know, he was pressuring Kennen one-on-one. I mean, obviously it's a winning matchup, so he should be, but anyways, it doesn't matter. The fact is he was winning, right? But it's not, League is not about winning lane only. So I think he just needs to organize a little bit more, like when he is playing Wukong.
Yeah, his Wukong, definitely a pretty strong pick. Didn't want to pick it this time around into the Renekton. It was available, but he said, well, I'd rather go for the Jace, something that can have some lane priority, something that can handle the Renekton in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, and nowadays, I checked all the pro players' rune settings, and everyone is taking Conqueror on the Jace right now. And it became so strong again. And I think it's one of the great blind pick, and you can win whatever the matchup. And that's the reason why Damwon Gaming has such a great performance. And most of the times when you're playing against Damwon Gaming, you ban Jace.
Yeah,
So
good idea.
I think this is the game that he can prove himself as well. That he can also use this kind of snowball champion, lane kingdom champion.
I think we're going to have a dive here in a minute. Young Jae is on a ward, and we were talking about this a lot. You can Predator on in. Here we go. Predator is available, and we're going a million miles an hour, trying to burst down that Jace. The flash comes in, and it will actually work. Glid, not going to get the aggro, turns around and nearly smacks Dudu to death, but calculated all the way. Dudu will survive in the 1v2 gank, although Glid coming back. Going to deny the back here, give a little advantage to Rascal in the lane.
That was so close. I mean, I didn't feel like Dudu, he really needed to trade back on the Volibear. He almost got... he almost died there, by the way. But anyways, he soaked the 1v2 gank on the top side. So this is another good start from Hana Life right now. They got the first straight cleanly. And he didn't die on the top side, even though, yeah, this is not the game that maybe Jace want to play. Not winning the lane, not leading the CS, but it's okay. Team player.
Yeah. I mean, he certainly is playing the weak side of the map. He's like, just got to survive and do okay. Later on, can do a bit of poking, and then hopefully in the late game, his Azir and Ashe do well and scale up, and they can be the majority of the damage, and that should be just fine. But it'll be interesting to see if he can stop the, or if he can live against the, second gank, third gank, because we know it's coming. We know that we always like to put pressure here as another trade going on.
Oh, this is power of the Conqueror. The trade back is just so strong.
Young Jae's turn, and Rascal going into the brush, wants to try to burst down Dudu, and he may just be able to, does a nice amount of damage. In comes Glid, and they are turning this one around as Young Jae desperate to get on top of Glid, but the last hit will go to the Volibear, and it will also go to the Renekton. The 2-on-2 will heavily go in Gen Z's favor.
This is power of the Renekton.
Yeah. As a nice taunt down here on the bottom side, but it's not going to amount to too much. We have Niru making his way bot, but will turn around. So nice trade by Viper and Lehens.
But anyways, the Renekton usage from Rascal was just way too clean. And
oh, coming in again. Looking to hook down onto Lehens and deny that CC, but Life is going to eat it instead. As we're kiting down Ruler, but he will just Hurricane shift away.
And the force lit, and BTD is here again.
Okay, he's going to land this Hurricane this time around. Looking for the play. He's not going to commit to this one, although he did use his ultimate to enter the fight.
Lehens was holding his ability, so it was kind of risky to take it. Great reaction from Hana Life Esports, but the tempo-wise, it's not great at all, so they just need to let them have free Herald on the top side, and the top side difference is coming in real.
Oh boy, here we go again. This is what we see all the time from Renekton lanes nowadays.
Yeah.
Dudu doesn't have flash,
Oh.
He's got a Shen. Okay, don't see this very often.
1+1?
Decide 1+1. Oh man. Here we go, we're not giving up this step. Who are we going for? We're going for Young Jae. The set looks like he will be the sacrifice. So down he goes, Lehens not able to do anything else. And yeah, here in Korean convenience stores we have a thing that's 1+1, which is just buy one get one free.
Or 2+1.
Yeah, 2+1.
Almost 2+1 happened right there. But anyways, the Jace is completely out of this game right now.
Yeah.